Imagine a war fought not between nations, but between workers and the powerful elite, a battle that exploded in the coal-rich hills of West Virginia. The West Virginia Coal Wars of the early 1920s were a clash over basic human rights, where thousands of coal miners risked everything to stand up against the wealthy coal barons who controlled their lives. For years, these miners toiled deep underground, facing deadly working conditions for meager pay, all while living in company-owned towns where they were forced to buy necessities from company stores at inflated prices. Their cries for better wages and safer conditions were met with brutality. The coal companies hired armed guards and private detectives, known as the Baldwin Felts agents, to terrorize the workers and crush their unions before they even formed. Tensions boiled over in the town of Matewan in 1920 when Sheriff Sid Hatfield, a local hero who supported the miners, clashed with Baldwin Felts agents in a bloody gunfight on the streets, later known as the Matewan Massacre. This was only the beginning. As miners' frustrations grew, so did the violence, leading to the largest armed uprising in U.S. labor history, the Battle of Blair Mountain. In late August 1921, as many as 10,000 miners armed themselves with rifles and marched toward Blair Mountain, determined to break the stranglehold of the coal companies and fight for their right to unionize. For 5 brutal days, the miners engaged in intense firefights against an army of coal company forces, who were bolstered by local law enforcement and private militias. The coal operators even resorted to aerial bombings, dropping explosives on the miners from private planes, a rare and shocking event in U.S. history. The federal government, fearing this rebellion might spiral out of control, sent in troops to quell the uprising. Facing overwhelming military power, the miners eventually laid down their arms, but their fight didn't end in vain. While the coal wars were a defeat in the short term, they shined a harsh light on the exploitative conditions workers endured, sparking national outrage and laying the groundwork for future labor reforms. The legacy of the coal wars is one of defiance, resilience, and the enduring struggle for workers' rights in America. It's a forgotten chapter of U.S. history that shows the lengths ordinary people will go to for justice and dignity. Want to dive deeper into untold stories of rebellion, resistance, and revolution? Subscribe to History Recaps